Welcome. Thanks for joining me for your in-depth horoscope forecast for week commencing the 3rd of August. This is for the Sun or the Ascendant. If you've yet to subscribe to my channel, I'd be honoured if you did so now. Please click or tap on the bell notification symbol. Also, if you'd like to chat with me directly, you can do so on Twitter at Horoscope Ace, or watch Elisa and I's daily astrology and spirituality video show by seeing the link below. If you've had any certainties because of the 13th Zodiac sign controversy, which has blown up yet again, please also check out my video beneath this one, which explains things in detail, clarifies the subject. There are 12 Zodiac signs in the Western tropical astrology because we work to the seasons. So that means the whole pattern of the seasons is dominated by the equinoxes and the solstice, and there is no room for a 13th zodiac sign. It's not representative of the constellations of birth. Of course, the Earth's axis has shifted, but that sidereal astrology that follows that, Western tropical astrology doesn't. So you can continue to watch my videos with confidence. Now, this week is a very busy week indeed, not least that we have a full moon on Monday, which kicks off proceedings and provides a backdrop for the next 2 weeks. This is in the democratic sign of Aquarius, which is all about us, the collective. On the other side of the heavens, we have the Sun, which is much more about our individual expression. It can also be about fun. Now, if we have fun, but we're not being conscious of how the impact of that may play out on others, perhaps this full moon is just reminding us that if we do feel quite impetuous or rebellious, because it is T-squared by the energies of Uranus, that responsibility does go side by side with freedom. But also this week, gloriously, Mercury ends a 10-week sojourn through the sign of Cancer, where it's not at its best. It moves midweek into Leo, which is a real warmth of and more dynamic thrust of energy, which is going to get our communication moving much quicker, much more energetically, much more enthusiastically, particularly when it comes to expressing ideas. Now, also, Venus has been in a very long 4-month transit through the sign of Gemini, which began on the 4th of April. And that comes to a close as the weekend dawns and it moves into the sign of Cancer, where it actually is very comfortable indeed. This is a very nurturing place for Venus to be, and it's a wonderful opportunity for us to appreciate our homes, our gardens, nature, or the people or situations which really soothe our senses. Now, there is, however, a very powerful right angle developing between Mars, initially Jupiter, later this week Pluto, and then later this month with Saturn. And the implications of this, essentially, is that Mars is going to be having a competition with these guys right through to the middle of October. So we do need to hang on to our celestial hats. Mars is about impulse in the sign of Aries, which it governs. It's about initiation. The posse of energy that's in Capricorn is all about the orthodox. It's about authority. And we are going to see a continued level of pushback against what is seen as being unfair authority. Or we may see people who want to impose their authority even more vigorously. And when I say people, I also mean states. Now, also, as the weekend dawns, Uranus is going to be in a right angle with Mercury too. So that potential for impetuousness that comes out from the full moon can be repeated as the week draws to a close. But Mercury in the sign of Leo, it just brings, I just think it's going to really speed things up for a lot of us. And I think it's going to help to, if you felt your thinking was sludgy, or your emotional vitality was low, you felt self-critical, all of that came because Mercury was working into the end of its phase in Cancer, but was in opposition with Saturn, which is a real mood buster, to be honest. So now we have an opportunity, even if it is clashing with Uranus as this week draws to a close, to just embrace its dynamism, to get going more, to really connect with people that we enjoy perhaps being around, messaging. If we're not necessarily able to meet up in person, at least bringing more vigour to the whole process of our thinking and our interactions with others. Your specific forecast, Aries, is all about really making the most of the energy of your ruling planet of Mars. And because there is a full moon this week, I think your desire to manifest enjoyment or interaction or sociability is going to be really strong. So to have the big three, the mighty posse in Capricorn, angling up with Jupiter initially and then with Pluto later this week, it could create some kind of tensions, because a square that is created can be a difficult planetary aspect. However, there are also opportunities, not least that Mercury is going to be moving into a much more outgoing and flamboyant part of your situation. If for the last 10 weeks you have felt a bit bogged down in terms of your emotional situation, you haven't felt quite the same fire and initiative, perhaps you felt it was because of COVID, and of course it will have had a big impact. But I think Mercury moving through the fourth house of your situation, which is all about emotion, home, family, but also going through that big retrograde, being in shadow from the 2nd of June through to the 26th of July, that's a tough call. So as it emerges into the sun, the fire of Leo, that's perfect for your sign. Now, Mercury is going to have a bit of a tete-a-tete with Uranus at the end of the week, just like the full moon has it with Uranus at the start of the week. So what's that all about for you? Well, I think it's basically about resources and money, but equally also about your sense of self-worth. So whatever you're considering doing in terms of expenditure, in terms of socially or romantically, it has to be something that really does make you feel safe, secure, validated, but also gives you a sense of enjoyment, because that is what life is about. Now, with Venus also replacing Mercury in the sign of Cancer, this is an opportunity to make this planet work in a much more productive way. And even if you do decide to have some people around, if it's possible, if you can do that where you live, even if you have to socially distance, or you want to spend some money beautifying your abode or redecorating, this can be a wonderful time for you to enjoy the basic emotional foundations of your situation. But generally, I think you're going to be feeling a lot more outgoing as this week draws to a close. It's been a real pleasure being with you. Thank you so much for having joined me. If you'd like to ascend above your zodiac sign and embrace serious astrology, please check out my affordable range of astrology reports beneath this video. You can get 30% off on a 12-month forecast and a character analysis, or check out the testimonials for myself if you would like to have a one-to-one personal consultation. Thank you.